Hey, y'all. It is Media Maverick Monday. Are we live? I'm trying to make sure, get it up on my cell phone so I can watch and make sure. Let me mute my notifications. We are live. Make sure, get it up on my cell phone. Okay, I want to make sure. Can y'all hear me on your end? Let me know. Let me know if you can hear me and see me. Can you hear me and see me? So that I can launch into this. Because you know we waste no time. Miss Rochelle, your name was the first one to pop up. Let me know if you can hear and see me okay. And then we are going to take it away. I totally forgot to post this earlier in the day, as well as on the list. All right, so I can see and hear me. That is Media Maverick Monday. It's Media Maverick Monday. It's Media Maverick Monday. It's Media Maverick Monday. I feel like Oprah. I got to sing my own theme song. You remember that year? She sang her own theme song. That's me. Y'all stuck with me singing my theme song. All right. So today's topic came actually as an inspiration from one of my media mavericks named Joy. And Joy posted this wonderful glimpse at taking her baby Kayla, who she also calls Sweet Pea, taking her baby Kayla to the pumpkin patch last night. And soon as I read the story, just something went off in my spirit. So this is one of those, it's a practical media tip, but it's also tapping into your soul as well. But for me, they both go hand in hand. So Joy wrote, this weekend, I took my Sweet Pea and her BFF to a local pumpkin patch where they had a mini carnival like set up with inflatable slides and obstacle courses. There was this one slide you had to climb up high, but not too high up to get to the top. Of course, Sweet Pea freaked out instantly. Oh, I should probably introduce myself to the new people who may be coming in. I'm TJ Mercer. I'm the chief noisemaker of the Media Mavericks Academy, which means I teach authors, experts, coaches, and entrepreneurs how to book themselves in the media without a publicist and without being a celebrity. And I'm really good at what I do. Okay, so where was I? Of course, Sweet Pea freaked out instantly. She started screaming and crying and literally took her hands off and dropped down. Her BFF had already climbed up and was trying to coach her through it. It's okay, Kayla. You don't have to be scared. Her dad and I tried to help her and telling her it's okay. Then this little girl emerges and takes her hand and says, you don't have to be afraid. I'll go through it with you. It was amazing to witness and so sweet. She stayed with her through every second and told her, I won't let go of you and I won't let you fall. Just hold on to me. And before you knew it, they made it to the top and Kayla ended up abandoning her fear, so much so that she became a pro. She climbed up faster and went through other obstacle courses, climbed higher, and was fearless. Now, when I read that, immediately in my mind's eye, I saw that that's how I'm with my clients, my media mavericks. And all of them know, and even my noisemakers, my noisemakers are the people who hadn't quite risen to media maverick status and actually paid and invested in working with me. But my media mavericks know that I take my job as their leader, as their chief noisemaker seriously. And so just like, this little girl, Kayla's BFF, I've already been down that road. I worked in Hollywood for 20 years. I know behind the scenes. I've actually booked myself. I've done tons of media. I've done, media, podcasts, radio, television. I've done it. So it's my job now to reach back to them and show them, guide them, hold their hand on something I've already experienced, because I'm clear that my destiny is tied to theirs. And that if I don't reach back and go get the people God has called me to get, it creates this domino effect and people are not being served. So Kayla's BFF had already climbed this obstacle course, or this whatever you call this thing that they were on. And she knew that that's someone she loves. That's someone she cares about. That's someone she wants to help. So she had to actually go through it herself so she can prepare the way to come back and get the people, her BFF in this case, get the BFF that needed her. Kayla was scared. My Mavericks are scared. There's no shame in fear. There's no, because anything that is going to require you to stretch, get out of your comfort zone, put you on blast, you know, if for lack of a better word, you're going to get afraid. But it's my job to hold her hand like it's described. She was like, you don't have to be afraid. I'll go through it with you. That's what I do every day, all day with my Media Mavericks. She says, it's okay, Kayla. You don't have to be scared. You don't have to be scared because I'm right there with you holding your hand. Now, for you, what is that for you? Are you actually going back and reaching people? Now, whether you're doing it on a personal level or whether you're doing it on the mass scale of media, that is why I am not interested, and I say it all the time, I'm not interested in making celebrities. I'm interested in teaching you how to be effective and leverage the media so you can help more people. So you can, hey, Kenta, hi, Chidel. Hey, Fred, Derek, nice to meet you, Derek. I don't recognize your name, so I think you're new. But if I'm called to go back and get more people, what is that for you? I lost my train of thought for a second. What is that for you, though? In your lane of expertise, are you reaching back and getting people? Are you playing small? Are you not using your voice? Are you not using everything about you? Are you not using what you have survived, been through, gone through? Is that you? Is it time for you to find your voice? What's up, Rob? Is it time for you to find your voice and start doing what Kayla's friend did for her? Grabbed her hand and guided her through it. Everything you've been through, learned from, experienced, went to school for, it's not for you. Your gifts are not for you. Hey, my Tish, they're not for you. I had a revelation early on in this journey when God really showed me all those years of being behind the scenes in television, they weren't for me. Yeah, he allowed me to have a great time doing it, but it wasn't for me. It was for the people that he has destined for me to serve. I can serve them more effectively because I've walked the journey. God didn't spare you, help you survive over stuff just so you, hey, Michelle, just so that you can get over and be like, I got mine. No. Kayla's little BFF could have jumped on that obstacle course and went, wee, all by herself. And just did it over and over again while Kayla is still at the bottom, wishing she could actually do it. Fear has paralyzed her. There's Joy. I'm talking about your baby Joy and her BFF. Fear could have paralyzed her, but for her BFF. Her BFF in this area was stronger. How old is Kayla, Joy? There could come time where Kayla is going to be the stronger person and she's going to grab her hand. Now, are you going to leave people standing at the bottom of the mountain because you won't get over yourself and go find your voice to go get their hand and guide them through your level of expertise? So Kayla is 6 years old. I'm assuming her little BFF is somewhere around that time too. So her BFF had enough empathy. Her BFF had enough compassion that she didn't want Kayla to experience this. Are you going to leave people in pain because you're sitting on the solution to their problem and you won't get right and go back and get them? That's what media does. Media enables you to actually go and get as many people as possible with one fell swoop to show them you are the answer to their prayer. You are the answer. You are the solution to their problem. But what happens is we get in our head. Full transparency. I told this to my Mavericks on Thursday night when I taught, so I'll tell it to y'all because y'all know I'm gonna tell you the truth. You learn from my journey, which is why I actually tell stuff so that you don't feel alone. I actually shut down almost from doing Serve the Media, my publicity boot camp. Completely shut down. Decided I don't want to do it. Start questioning, is it really for me to do? I went off the grid for a minute. You can't really tell when I go off the grid now because my team is so beast that they cover me. But I went for the grid, and Reneka and Tish, they had to come get me. They had to come get me and remind me that if I don't come back and come out from behind the TV screen or the computer and put myself in front of people, there is something that happens. My gift that God has given me, my gift is I actually hug people. And sometimes my hugs are healing. That may sound crazy, but I've experienced it. And if I'm not amongst people, I'm withholding their next level. But I had to have a moment. So you gonna still teach. So you got all this experience, you got all these receipts to back up that you're good at what you do. You're gonna let your negative self chatter get in your head. And so you're gonna stand at the bottom of the mountain. You're gonna stand at the bottom of the mountain, knowing how you've already been to the top, back down, back up to the top, and you've carried people. But now you're gonna get in your own head, and you're not going to go back and get people. How dare you? How dare you do that? How dare you sit on that? And then I had to have a moment of, one of my friends was teasing me about a pair of glasses that I wanted, and he sent me the text and said, "Those look like you're begging for attention." And it's like, I had a moment for a second, and then I had to be like, you have met me, right? I don't blend in. I never have. And as a matter of fact, my glasses, the crazier my glasses, the more I draw people to me because it's a conversation starter. And I got some way out there glasses. And so because I collect glasses, that's my thing. And I'm like, it's a conversation starter. Do you know how many people I have met, fascinating, struck up conversation, became friends with, all because they complimented my glasses? And that gives me an entry into your heart. Because if all you do is crack your heart open to me, I'm going to walk in it. And I'm coming for your greatness. So I had to have a moment of remembering who God created me to be. So I'm looking at, I can be who Kayla's BFF is, but I had to actually have that moment of me recognizing, okay, so you just gonna leave people stranded, knowing they need you, knowing that their next level is tied to what you do, knowing that their client's next level is tied to what they do, which now ties back to them. And then that level of clients, of the client's clients is tied to what you do. So you just gonna stop that? What is that? I'm telling on myself so you can actually start having this conversation with yourself. How long are you gonna stay in the shadows? How long are you going to actually pretend that God hasn't given you something unique and special about how you do your get down? How long, hi Charlotte, how long are you going to let your idiosyncrasies, your quirks get in the way of you showing up, playing full out? And then finally, when my friend, he was like, I forgot, you're right, because you are the type that you don't care. You're right. God built me this way. With all of my quirks, my idiosyncrasies, my corniness, my unicorn, my fairy dust, that's how I show up. That's how I draw the people that who want to play with me to me. What are you withholding from us? What are you withholding that's stopping people from going to their next level? On Thursday, in Mavericks, I show them my very first TV interview, and then I show them one of my last TV interviews. If you're here and you've seen it, isn't it like night and day? Totally night and day. Because that first interview, I showed up in a way of who I thought they wanted me to be. In my head, they wanted this professional person who, don't be like, hey, y'all, very conservative and reserved. I showed up to that. Y'all wouldn't recognize me in that interview. But by the time I did Fox News Channel, and by the time I did Houston Fox, it was clear TJ is in the building. So much so that my Fox interview, the host was so smitten in a platonic way by me. He serenaded me at the end and saying, isn't she lovely? Because I decided that this is who I am. This is how I'm always going to show up, idiosyncrasies and quirks and all. Because I'm going to own my genius. How about you? And I'm going to play big for the people that God called me to serve. And if all of this is not you, that's okay. No harm, no foul. We good. But if it is, then as my coach used to tell me, Lisa Nichols, Dr. Allie's here, don't Lisa tell us, hook your train to my caboose and let's go? Because I'm taking people up on some media. Did y'all see my video with the roller coaster? Make sure if you haven't seen that, with me riding roller coasters, doing a video telling you how doing media is a lot like riding a roller coaster, because you stand in line as you wait to ride. So that's like the pitching process and going through and weaving your way through the pitching process. Then you get booked and you get you get ready to do your segment. And as you going up and up and up, there's anxiety building in your tummy. There's nervousness in your tummy, There's nervousness in your tummy. And then you get to the top, and I on the video, I'm y'all on the roller coaster with me. As you get up to the top, you then just drop and you screaming. It's exhilarating, it's fun, and it's a blast. That to me is what media is. So make sure you check out that video. Now, in response, Joyce said, had that experience. My first podcast, I didn't reveal who I was. Last week, I had a conversation to show up and serve. And she said she was going to be reaching out to me again. Why? Because Mavericks get invited back. That's why. So speaking of idiosyncrasies and quirks, I have a guest tonight that she really didn't know what we were talking about till she just heard it right now, because I didn't tell her. Because I didn't tell her that I needed her on here to about 45 minutes ago. And so she had to go get cute. But I think she is, and one of the things that helped me come out of my shell was both Reneka and Tish had to remind me of another gift. My gift is I spot the things that y'all try to hide. God gives me unique insight. The things that y'all don't notice, or the things that are there in you that are yearning to come out, but somebody has to come along and give you permission. If I stay quiet in my genius and in my gift, there are people like this person who I'm honored to bring on, because I've watched her blossom. If I didn't show up and do my thing, girlfriend wouldn't be too busy for me right now. Like, she all over the place speaking. She taking 2 or 3 hours to return a text because she on stage speaking now. And I'm trying not to get in my feelings like you dumping me now. But I've watched her just blossom. And she did a post earlier this week to tell people about Serve the Media that really went to my heart and came at the right time to remind me I cannot stand at the foot of the mountain and not grab people's hand and take them with me. So it is my honor, my privilege, and my joy to introduce to you my girl, one of my earliest Mavericks, Miss Andrea Harrison. I don't have my applause thingy. Andrea, I can't hear you. I saw you laughing, but now I can't hear you again.
I'm here.
Okay, there we go. I heard it. Okay. So, Andrea, I'm going to just sit quiet. I'm going to let your words tell them just what has happened to you of you finding your voice, and speak to the person who's listening right now who are sitting on quirks that people around them may think is corny, they devalue, and it's the one thing that people actually want to hear from them. So you take the floor.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me on here. It really is an honor for you to call me and to invite me on. So I'm really happy to be here. Thank you. And thank you for finding value in me and seeing something in me at a time when I didn't see it in myself, and when a lot of people around me didn't see it. And so let me go back a little bit. I was a paralegal for over 25 years. So I worked in the legal field. I lived in the courts. That was like my thing. Loved to be, in the courts. And I moved from New York City to Florida, still working in the legal field. And right as I was transitioning out of the legal field, starting my own business where I was doing event coordinating and decorating, and I would make these beautiful tablescapes. And that's right around the time when I met you. My daughter started her career as being a professional photographer at 9 years old. And so it was right around that time where I was really going through a transition. I had let my job, this big time paralegal job, define me. But at the same time, I felt like a square, no, a circle in a square peg, or a square peg in a
Square
circle.
peg in a round hole.
There you go. Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly how I felt for most of my legal career. And so I thought that I was doing something when I started the events decorating, because I'm creative. I love being creative, but still it wasn't enough. And then as I started traveling with my daughter, I realized I couldn't do that because of the flexibility. I need something, that was more flexible with time. And so I had to go through this transition of, I'm no longer that big shot paralegal. I'm no longer that entrepreneur who owns her own business. Now I am hashtag I am Madison's mommy. And so that was a lot of getting used to. And as a woman, I really, although I was satisfied and I loved doing what I did with my daughter, I loved traveling with her and all of her amazing things that she was doing, I was enjoying it so much.
Wait, I should interject that her daughter is a celebrity photographer. She's been shooting since she was 3, I believe. And at 9 years old, she had White House press pool credentials. How many of y'all got that? And my media maverick, she was on Steve Harvey to talk about shooting President Obama and Michelle Obama and Oprah. And then that turned into her doing the Steve Harvey red carpet for Madea, where she interviewed Tyler Perry and Oprah. And so her kid, my mini media maverick, is pretty darn awesome. So go ahead, Andrea.
So as I was working with her, it was really, really exciting. I mean, to stand, just a few feet away from my favorite singer in the whole wide world. I love me some John Legend. And to watch my baby just talking to John Legend, and I'm like, he doesn't even know I exist. He doesn't even know I'm her mother. But I was cool with it. But so to watch her do her thing was satisfying to me as a mother. But there was something that was just tugging on the inside of me, that I knew that there was more. I knew because from a long time ago, I was told that there was greatness inside of me. For a long time ago, I was told I was going to be the mother to many women. And I never understood it. And then as I transitioned into doing something that I never, ever, ever would have thought in a million years that I would do, right before I made that transition, I started working with you on a more personal level, more helping, a part of your team. Mm-hmm. And you started to see things about me that no one took the time to see, that even if they saw it, they never allowed me to exercise it. And you just allowed me to be me. And you being your quirky self, mm-hmm, and being as amazing as you are and as well loved and respected as you are, it gave me the permission to say, I can be who I am as well. And so you really like the one thing that probably for everybody listening is probably going to say, like, that's not going to mean anything to them. Like, you calling me a doodler was like telling me that, I'm like the queen or something, like that was like huge to me. I'm like, she noticed that I doodle. She noticed that, you know, I can take her words and create these memes, and she not only notices it, she loves and appreciates it. And so all of those things just help me to blossom into who I am today.
So I love to think about the doula, because in that aspect too, guys, a lot of times the only reason why I know that that's my gift is because Andrea let me know that that's my gift. But I had to be in operation of my gift. I had to be in motion for her to recognize it. And so you're rolling along with people. You're connected on social media. You're connected even in your communities where you're not even recognizing or even verbalizing somebody else's gift. Mm-hmm. Not knowing that you verbalizing it and you showing up and being present in front of them is giving them permission to say, you're right, I'd love to doodle. And somehow somebody, because Andrea is brilliant at that. Like we would do when, you know, she wasn't too busy for me. Oh my gosh. When we would do the Noisemaker Challenge, by the end of the Noisemaker Challenge, she had grabbed snippets of things I had said and it turned them into a meme and had fired them off in social media. That's a gift. I ain't got that kind of gift. I can barely remember. First of all, I don't never think nothing I say is profound enough to be meme worthy, but that is a gift. And so, Andrea, tell them how you owning who you are, but more importantly, how you are. What has that led you to that you just love your life and I can't keep up with you? It's like the downside of helping folks find out their gifts. They too busy going off and giving their gifts away to other people.
Oh my gosh. And you don't know how much that killed me. Like, I'm looking at my phone and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like that's TJ. Like, I don't let TJ, you know, wait. I always jump and call her back. I'm like, I can't call TJ back now. I'm like, okay, Andrea, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. So as I said, I was a paralegal. Then I went into the event decor and event coordinating space. And then I transitioned to being I Am Madison's mommy. And as I said, there was something about it. I just needed more, wanted something more. I knew that there was something more for me to do. And so through my daughter, she was having a vision board party for 50 mothers and their daughters. And she wanted to have these vendors. And we had different vendors, but she wanted a jewelry vendor. But she didn't want an expensive jewelry vendor. And at the time, I didn't know anything about this company. And so, long story short, somebody referred us to them. They showed up and I was blown away. I was blown away because I couldn't believe that the jewelry was only $5. And the name of the company is Paparazzi Accessories. And I was blown away. And me as a New Yorker, I'm looking at it like, okay, what kind of crap do you have here for $5? What am I going to get for $5? And I really was so impressed with the quality, with the how everything was so trendy and everything. And so I just started buying a lot of it, maybe hoarding it. And $5 can really add up. So I said, you know what? They don't have any quotas or, you know, you don't have to sell the stuff. You could join for the discount. So I said, that's what I'll do. So my intention in joining the company was just for the discount. Like I had no intentions of selling it. But when you have people around you that notice your gift, that see your gift, that don't allow you to sleep on your gift, they don't allow you to just sit back and not work that gift or not walk in it, then all of a sudden you become the Bling Singer.
One day when she first started, you know, I've told y'all I don't watch a lot of videos and they know it. So if I pop up on your video, for them, they know, okay, that's a big deal. Because I edited television for 20 years. So the last thing I'm going to do is sit still and watch a video. So they know if you want me to watch a video, you got to tell me how long is it, why I got to watch, and what you want me to get out of it. And it's still a 50-50 chance if I'm going to do it, because then I'm like, just give me the highlights. And so Andrea's one of those people, she knows. And so one night I saw her go live. I'm like, what is she over there doing? Because she was all animated. And I heard, I was like, okay, $5 is just $5. So if you want this one, write 555. It's $5. Okay, and if you like this one, write down 232, and I'll send you the. It's $5. It's $5. And I was like, who the hell is this woman? Where did she come from? I'm like, you are slinging this bling like it's crack out of a trunk. Like she went from auctioneer $5 going once, $5 going twice. This is ready to go back into the vault. This is $5 to like really slinging dope. But then I looked at her and I was like, oh my gosh, she is having a blast. But what I love about her transformation of her finding her voice and owning it is that I know, just like media is my ministry, period. Like Media Mavericks is a business, is my ministry disguised as a business. I'm coming to love on God's kids. That's really the bottom line for me. Andrea has found that in paparazzi. That, yeah, it's $5 jewelry, but when I tell you the lives that she has touched and the transformation she has caused, not just from the people who are buying the $5 jewelry, but also the people who have joined her team. She is in her element. And so that is what, okay, well, speak to that, Andrea, and then we're going to close it out. Speak to that.
So what I did was I used paparazzi as a platform. And I created Unleash Your Brilliance, where I want to help women to understand and to know that they are brilliant and that there's life after corporate America and that you really got to take a chance on yourself. And sometimes you got to step out of the box and do something that you never planned on doing, you never expected to do. Because if you allow God to truly order your steps and you try something as crazy as slinging $5 bling, that you don't know.
She even say that like a gangster. $5 bling. Like she makes you like scared. Like I better go buy at least one $5 something, because she gonna send her dudes after me. Like,
listen,
y'all catch how she said that? $5 bling. Oh, attitude and everything. Go ahead.
Wait, so remind me where I'm at as far as Unleash Your Brilliance and the platform. But I just have to say this really quickly. Okay. We went to a funeral a few months ago. One of Gordon's family members had passed away. And so, his family is in Jamaica. They're in England. They're all over the country. Everybody comes to the funeral. And then you have these two cousins and they're whispering, Andrea, you got that bling. You got that bling. So I'm like,
told y'all she's slinging it like she a crack dealer.
So I told Gordon, I was like, listen, he was like, what are you doing? I'm not doing anything. They asked me. I'm like, listen, just bring the car around the front. So he brings the car around the front and we sneak out. And then he drives down the block, down this alley. And I'm looking around. I'm like, okay, why do I feel like I'm doing something illegal? And like they just bought like all this jewelry. I made like I don't know how much money in just a few minutes, but it was fun. It was crazy though.
Andrea, I've seen Andrea will be in Denny's, and then all of a sudden she posting a pic where she has taken over Denny's. Like Denny's didn't recognize that it was going to be a pop-up shop that day. They didn't realize that was Andrea's pop-up shop, because she got the waitresses, she got the janitors, she got the cooks, she got the chefs in the kitchen, she got the customers, she got the hostesses, she got the people off the street peeking in the window coming in, and they all around her table where she enrolled out $5 bling.
It's the truth. It's the truth. I cannot lie.
But what was key? So get back to the platform. But what was key though, what I've noticed about how you serving people, because the one thing that you have to know, if you coming into my space, if you coming into my world of media, I ain't interested in you becoming a celebrity. I'm interested in how does your genius serve somebody else?
Right.
That really is the bottom line. Andrea's here. Joy is here. Deborah says, TJ, you could be a stand-up comedian. Love your way of telling a story.
Yes.
Thank you, Deborah. Joy is here. Tish is here. They will all tell you, I don't want no part of you promoting. I'm all about how does this serve. I almost turned down a podcast today, because the invitation to do a podcast, because I really didn't think I could serve the audience. It took a minute for her to keep talking, to tell me. I kept coming back, but I don't know if what I do serves your audience. And I'm not interested in taking up airtime.
Right.
I don't do Facebook Lives for the sake of y'all. Look at me. I got something to show you. We don't do that up in here.
Right.
You always are looking to how you serve. And so when I watch people come on Andrea's lives at night, they're there for her transformation. She's just as transparent as I am. You know, she is just as.
But I learned that from you. I learned that from you. You gave me permission to be that way, because not everybody does, you know, not everybody does it that way. But you gave me permission to be that way. And me being that's my heart, that I have the heart of a servant from I was a child. My mother, you know, impressed that upon me, that how important that was in life. That's who I am. And so, you know, with me doing the jewelry, it was always very uncomfortable to me, because I said, you know, I'm slinging this bling, but I can't just be slinging the bling. That this is not the reason that God has given me this platform. And so I had to quickly come up with a way to really serve people. And I know that just by me standing up and owning my genius, and I'm talking all my genius, all of it.
The gray hair too.
Everything, yes. That I know
because she told me she didn't want to come on because she got gray hair, and I was all I texted her back was, "You better figure it out." And I was like, "I'll see you in a few minutes." So for those of you who are tuning in, I also want you, and I'll say this, and then we'll wrap it up. I also want you to know how natural Andrea is now, because I literally, and she will tell you, I did not text. She did not get the text until like what, 5:30, 5:15, when it hit me, and I said, "Are you busy at 9:15 your time?"
No, for me it was 8:39.
Okay, so she gets the text at 8:39 that I
just walked in the door,
and she said that I just walked in the door. What do you need? And I was like, "Can you be on camera at 9:15?" That seemed reasonable enough for me. Now, watch the lesson in this. I didn't even give her what we were talking about. And she asked me, "What are we doing?" I just go with it, because I got to focus on something else. And she was like, "Oh my God." Now, the reason why she can show up as powerfully and as effectively as she is because she's found her voice. I'm not asking her to act outside of who she is. I'm not here having her to talk about biochemistry. I'm having her talk about something that I know she knows.
That would be a whole different thing.
And so she's done enough video, she's done enough being out there that she's comfortable of talking about. We could go on and on and on and on and on for hours over this, because she's found her sweet spot. Somebody posted on Facebook the other day, what can you give like an hour-long talk with less, with no notice? Me, it's publicity all day. All day, I can give an hour-long talk because it's my sweet spot. And I know my stuff, and I know I'm going to show up as me. So if I mess up, I forget something, I'm going to tell y'all, like, wait a minute, y'all, I forgot what I was getting ready to say. How many times have y'all been here? And I'm like, okay, now I lost my train of thought. What was I telling y'all? You have to the only way you're going to get good at doing media is doing media.
But do you remember, TJ, when I was doing media for the Tablescapes, and you were just like, just be yourself, like, and it was like such a struggle, even though I was loving the creative part, it just wasn't me. I did not find my sweet spot in that.
Right. You got to find your sweet spot, because that's when what will turn you on and make you shine. Hey, Tushana and Michaela. So let me see. The last thing I want to say, let me see. And in keeping with you, in order to get good at media, to do more media, I don't know if I've ever told you a story about I was in Costco parking lot, and my friend who is a TV producer called me and was like, can you do an interview with Mary J. Blige in half an hour? And I was like, I just pulled up the Costco parking lot. Let me just pull all the way out. So I speed home. I'm like, it's Mary J. Blige. I'm gonna make this happen. Like, and I was like, what are we talking about though? So I get home, I get settled, and I do an incredible interview with Mary J. Blige with less than 30 minutes notice, to the point the producer's like, we need to stay in touch with you. The only way that could happen, though, is I had done enough media. Mm-hmm. I am not going to be able to teach you by osmosis. All of a sudden, I'm just not going to be able to give you a pill and tell you to swallow it, and all of a sudden, you're going to be a media superstar. Not going to happen. You got to get in the trenches. You got to be willing to blow it. You got to be willing to make the mistake. So, which is why I say, if you're doing television, don't start in markets higher than number 31 market. Start in the lower markets so you can get used to being in your flow. Start in Facebook Lives, just getting used to hearing your voice, getting used to communicating, getting used to actually balancing, all the elements. Okay. So with that said, turning the corner. All the elements that's up in here, I'm doing in Atlanta, October 27th for Serve the Media. There were 2 spots last I could count of the VIP. We're doing a major push now. So because we're almost at our goal, I've hit where, I've paid for the event, because if you've been around me long enough, when I first announced it, I was like, I'm not doing this event unless y'all show me y'all gonna pay for it. Y'all did that. So now we're on to our next goal. So if you see that video, hey, Lakeisha Michelle, I love you. If you see that video of me on the roller coaster, please, I ain't no too proud to beg, please share it, because I really do want to hit my goal. Now that y'all got me out there, because y'all were the ones that convinced me to do it. Okay. Because I had no plan on doing a live event. All of y'all who've been around me, y'all convinced me to do it. So I'm asking you guys, please share it. Let people know, because I do want to hit my goal. And that is 30 people. We want to hit our goal, and we're really close. So we just did a walkthrough. I did a virtual walkthrough of the space today. Lakeisha says, what I need to share. Keisha, it's on my Facebook page, and you'll see it. It's Authors Experts. You'll see a big video. I am on a roller coaster. If you can share that for me, that would be great. I appreciate each and every one of you. Y'all can tell I got hot. So to register, go to servethemedia.com. That's servethemedia.com. Andrea will be in the house. Tish will be in the house. I've got several of y'all coming. I'm lost track of who else will be in the house. I'm getting text messages now of people asking me where it is. So thanks, Keisha. I love you. So if you can, please, if I've ever meant anything to you, have I ever given you a nugget that you took and ran with it? I typically don't. No, I always want my credit, because I suck at a lot of things, but media ain't one. So I always want my credit for the stuff I deliver media wise. But if I've ever helped, please share that video for me, because it's fun, and we're seeing people get attracted to it and drawn to it. So please share it for me. So with that said, I'm gonna count it down. Andrea, I love you. Thanks for always being willing to just roll with me, even when I don't have time to tell you what you're gonna do.
I told you, man, ride or die for life. You ain't getting rid of me ever.
The bling, gonna sling that bling. In 10, 9, any questions? 8, 7, 6. Any last words, Andrea, to the people?
Just unleash your brilliance.
And make some noise.
Yes, walk in your genius and make some noise.
4, 3, 2. Thanks for sharing, y'all. I appreciate you. Bye.